Alright, welcome one and all, whoever may be watching this. This will be part 32 of Tides of Numenéra. Last video was a long one. There just wasn't a convenient spot to break up that conversation. So I just kind of figured might as well just keep it all together and it'll just be a longer video. But hopefully, you know, seeing it all in a completed version is more enjoyable than me having cut that conversation in half. So people have leveled up. What's his name? Allergan wants to chat. So let me just level peeps up first, otherwise I will forget. Let's go increased edge. Cool. Okay, cool. Let's go stat pool. You can have speed, intellect. Yeah. And I guess we can talk to my dude. How do I do that again?
Forward. Onward.
Inafir. Another cast off, another stain. Look, I've got to ask. Why do you think so many of your kind cause so much pain?
Because we're born into danger? Because the sorrow hunts us all from the moment of our birth? Because so many people hate us for the accident of our birth and the crimes of our creator? I don't know, Allergan. Why don't you tell me? He holds up his hands. Hold on, I didn't say you... Oh, and why not? I mean, look at me. I'm the White Death. I've killed armies of men. I've made my share of orphans. I served the old Memavira of the Bloom. It's not like my hands are clean. She leans in and whispers. But it's not like yours are either, are they? For a moment, it appears that he is going to strike her. For her part, she seems supremely unconcerned. He breathes out. Point taken. He turns to you. What's your take, then? No idea, but then I don't know how the changing God made us. Huh. Maybe with a healthy side of disdain for society. He shakes his head. Anyway. Alright, I'm assuming that's all. We can just move on. Cool, and then I think I've looted everything. Let's just check that out quickly, because we did get a sweet sword. Which I really think Allergan should use if he can. Except for that's 8 physical. Oh, and heals. Okay, maybe I'll give it to Aretus. They like say things in the background when you give them things or like level them up or something. And like you can only just hear it. So I'm forever thinking that we must be attacked or, you know, be getting attacked or something. Okay, I have to remember we've got all these weird artifacts. Or at least these things, you know. Heals intelligence. Does stuff. You know, all these things that I could probably sell at some point.
Allergan, you are lucky to have met me.
My thoughts exactly.
We're sharing thoughts? That's wonderful. Oh, listen. What am I thinking now?
I'm going to leave Allergan alone.
Finally, something to do.
So I guess now we have to report back to, what's his face? Can I talk to... I don't even remember who here was the person we were talking to. I closed the gate. Hopefully the cultists will stop bothering you soon. Truly, her face becomes full of light. Thank you, madame, thank you. Both the living and the dead are forever in your debt.
Making a note.
I regret I have nothing to give you. We do not have much in the way of personal possessions. However, there is one who might. Ronos Kusul, yeah, he's the other guy we need to talk to. I found a tomb below for a girl named Troy Kusul. Do you know anything about her? Nope. Okay, cool. Everything's pointing me back to him. Alright, bear with me as we once again run around in circles. But at least I've done something in this area. I've helped them out. I've been a good person.
Let's go. Of course.
Choi's thoughts jangle. Oh yeah, I need to check out what Choi's doing in my head. Oh, I forgot about that one. Choi's thoughts jangle about in your head as you stand before this man who calls himself Ronos Kusul. She starts with alienation and rage at this theft of her father's self. But with a fickle speed of youth, her heart changes, thudding along until it reaches its ultimate conclusion. That is how the world reworks itself and tries again. Like a child kneading clay between her fingers and dreaming of all it can be. Then you're alone again in your mind.
Making a note.
Oh, you acquired a bonded item. These are pieces of equipment that are powerful Numenéra artifacts that go in the bonded equipment slots on the inventory screen. When equipped, they fuse directly to your skeleton, nervous system, or organs. Nice. Okay, providing significant positive effects, but their invasive nature can also produce negative effects. Yep. I wouldn't expect anything less. You can equip up to 2 bonded items at once. Oh, so they're not like permanently bonded. If your concentration skill is at the novice level, both items inflict their negative effects. If trained, you ignore. If specialized, you shrug off. Okay, you ignore effects from the first items. From both of them. If your skill level is inability, one of your bonded slots is locked until you improve your concentration skill. What's my concentration skill? I do not know. Truly, I don't know what brought you to the valley, friend, but we are grateful that you came. Is there anything else I can do for you? Nope, farewell. Okay. I kind of thought we would have some kind of conversation about it, but apparently that's it. Here's your XP and your items. You can go now. Where even is my concentration skill? Or is it not showing up because I don't have it? Where's my bonded? Where are the braces? No, okay, so I've got 2. So I've got some kind of proficiency. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. One of the many things I need to figure out. Should probably also look at these things. I've not been very great with ciphers in general. Okay, so -2 might pool. Excellent. +1. Oh, so it gives us +1 might, +1 damage, +6 esoteric attacks, but they're -2 on the might front. I don't think any of us are particularly mighty, if you get my drift. Like, maybe I'd give it to Aretus. And then we can just bump up his might a little bit next time he levels up. He obviously doesn't have much in the way of concentration, so he'll get those negative effects. Yeah, okay, well let's just, I mean, we can take them off, I think, so... Worst comes to worst, let's just see how that all goes. Alright, let us return to, lady whose name I can't remember, and we shall look in what's-his-face as Mia, caster. Okay, before we do any of this stuff, I might just duck into her unconsciousness or whatever, and see if, Oh, hold on. Hold on. How? So if I've got him wearing this, which gives him a negative fatal, why does my dude also have it? What's up with that mess? Has he also lost 2 might too? What? Are they bonded in some way? Is that a thing that's happened? Like, they've both got this orange... I mean, she does too. What? I'm so confused. Alright, so I've just put them on Al again. And he must have a good concentration or something, because I've thrown them in here. And they haven't done anything, so I might give them to him then. So then I'm wondering, because these two for her are orange, so maybe she's got a point in concentration, but not enough to ignore any of the negative effects, whereas he's obviously got enough to ignore one of them. I don't know. Who even knows? Anyways.
I can't die.
Okay, is Choi here anywhere?
Yes, now.
My mind is just going to be populated with all kinds of people. The transparent form of a girl, Choi, you realize, huddles here clutching herself. Her eyes are closed, her breathing slow and even. Other than the rise and fall of her small shoulders, she is utterly motionless. And that makes the sound she's making all the more audible. It is a moaning, coming from the back of her throat, a low, guttural sound of fear and pain. It vibrates along your nerves, pricking at the corners of your eyes. Your own breath quickens within you. Something has happened on an instinctual level. You've established a bond with this reflection. Some of its gifts are yours, and you feel stronger for it. However, this link fully occupies a corner of your mind. You may be able to forge connections with more than one reflection in the labyrinth, but not many. The knuckles of her small hand tighten around her arms as you lean closer. How are you? She flinches as if struck, but does not respond. Are you all right? She shudders at your words. What happened to you? She holds herself tighter and shakes her head. Can you talk about what happened? She stares at her feet, her head shakes just slightly. Okay, I guess that's all. I think I got some kind of boon from her though. I don't know what, but anyways. Well, that was fun, I guess.
Let's go.
That was worthwhile, I guess. So you gonna make fun of me again? You're a slow learner, I see.
All right.
Alright. Oh, hold a moment. You seem like... Oh, haven't we done this already? Yeah, we've totally done this already. I'm ready to talk to Muzzov. Show me the Merecaster. You have proven to me I can trust you. Only remember what you have learned in these tasks. Be gentle with Zirian. You are violating his mind. Be true to his path. Find what you need and return without causing him harm. You have a duty to preserve his life as he intended it, if at all possible. She presses the box into your hands. Tidal energy swells around it, drawing you in like a maelstrom. You focus on it, opening your innermost eye, and you are torn from your body. Alright, this video might also be a long one. When you first open your eyes, there's only a ruddy glow and frightening shapes in shadows around you. The air is hot and stifling. As your eyes adjust, you realize you're outside, but the sky is darkened by clouds of pitch. The ruddy glow comes from lava flows as they trundle down distant mountains into the volcanic fields around you. Sharp towers pierce the sky, tapered like the bones of a ribcage. Indeed, they look like bones in every way, as does the ground beneath you. You appear to be standing on the spine of an enormous beast. The bottom of its jaw can be seen in the far distance, half buried beneath a layer of cooled lava. Most of the bone towers look identical, but one shines from inside with an odd blue light. The top of the tower has been snapped off, and what looks like a transport hovers next to its peak. It's your transport. You were sent here to find something. Twisted bridges connect the spine to the volcanic fields around you. In one direction lie enormous formations of obsidian. Arches, spires, a wall. In the other direction, a narrow path is carved into the mountain face. The field leading to the canyon is illuminated by hundreds of glowing lights. You know this body wasn't sent to find Muzzov, but Adira said he'd appear. Perhaps following through the events will lead to him. Okay, let's perception explore the towers around the spire. Around the spine. Or do I want to waste my skills, you know? Let's just try to remember. You can't remember any of the memories this body once had, but you know his name is Zaren Daywalker. You remember another name, though you don't know its significance. The Chimera. Zirian is wearing a black, form-fitting suit that keeps off the worst of the heat. He carries a whip and various ornaments that remind you of the dead. Seeing the ornaments, you realize they're not just decorative. You can feel the dead around you, as well as the stories of those who died here. Zirian must have had some strange connection beyond the world of the living. Perhaps that has something to do with why he was sent on this mission. Use connection with the dead to learn more about the area. You're in a place called the Fields of Ossiphagan, and many have lived and died here, though it seems a terrible place to live. Scavengers from Sagus Cliffs have been through here in recent centuries, seeking treasures of the past. Before that, it was mutants fleeing revolution after bloody revolution in a place called Hareth. Before that, refugees from a village called Shunha. Before that, the Ossiphagans themselves. You see a glimmer of a powerful artifact. Hundreds of years ago, there was a battle here. Many died. 2 people, a middle-aged woman and a teenage girl, fought over a copper sphere at the top of a glowing bone tower. Perhaps that copper sphere is what you were sent here to find. Alright, I guess I'll explore. Oh, okay, or not. You search for a long time through the towers. There is clutter and death in abundance, but you find nothing of value. I just don't know how much of my intellect I want to waste. I should have rested before doing this. Let's go to the obsidian formations. Crossing the volcanic plains, you arrive at the obsidian formations. Massive structures of cool, shining rock leap from the ground, curling into impossible shapes. An enormous black wall rings most of the formations, rising hundreds of meters out of the ground in places. The obsidian formations are dark, quiet, and desolate. A hot wind blows from magma flows further off, but here nothing flows and nothing lives. In the distance you can see the spine and bone towers, and in other directions the plains stop at a sheer cliff face with a mountain pass carved between them. I don't know, mountain pass. The mountain pass is still some distance away, but you're close enough to see that there is too much rubble at the bottom to make your way through. Spread out in front of the cliffs is a great volcanic plain. Across the entire expanse are hundreds and hundreds of creatures lit with a dim glow that has nothing to do with the magma. You know these creatures are called fire wights. At the moment they seem to be ignoring you. Study the wights' behavior? Oh, see again, Nice, okay. You stay near them, watching for a long time. At first, they seem to be just wandering without rhyme or reason, but then you realize that the shifts you feel in the air temperature are not random nor natural. The wights themselves are causing them. Indeed, once you figure this out, you can see how they use the temperature of the air as a kind of communication between each other. Maybe you could use this information to slip past them. Why would I want to slip past them? But okay, let's do that carefully. You search for a time, but there's very little out here in the fields. You do find some kind of large shield embedded in molten rock nearby. You can also feel rather than see the strong presence of death here. You try to search further, but a group of fire wights crowds in and threatens you. It's going to be difficult to get past them. Connection with the dead to speak to those that died? I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Though there are no bodies on the surface, you can feel the dead beneath the rock, preserved by magma that has flowed over this spot over the centuries. One is a middle-aged woman named Ama, the other is a girl, but she is strangely silent. Even with your strange powers, there is nothing here to speak with. Peace, says Ama. Is it better? Better, yes. Better oblivion. Who are you? Ama. The disembodied voice sounds like it's calling Ama rather than naming herself. No, not Ama. Shelled, cast away, eaten and alive and eaten again. Not Ama. Food for wights. What happened to you? Buried to death. Before that, lived. Before that, died. Before that, lived and died and lived, and so many cycles, so many deaths. The air shivers, her tone drops dangerously low. Before that, someone else awoke and remembered. A fight, a girl, a limnion. Though you cannot see Ama, her presence moves through you, turns your head. You see in the fields, in the distance, what she is talking about. The Erlem Neon, a sphere of burnished metal lying in the rock, and you know this is what you were sent to find. Why can't I speak to the girl? Gone, gone, but not gone. You shudder, but it's not you who is shuddering. She awoke something, vengeance, though no vengeance is in her. You feel Arma's presence looking off towards the obsidian formation. There's something glowing and moving over there. Okay, let her return to peace. Let's go to the... Maybe let's go to the obsidian formations first. Explore the area. You search for anything remotely interesting, but the place is barren. As you are about to leave, an orange glow reflects off the rocks ahead. An enormous paw steps in your path and the rest of the creatures emerge. It's like a pillar of light with claws. 100 faces twist in its body, emerging, howling, then melting back into the curling fire. The creature is easily 3 meters wide and at least twice as tall. The word Gomorn bubbles to your mind. I mean, I don't particularly want to attack it, and I don't really want to taunt it either. You run. Oh, I should have just taunted it. The Gomorn roars behind you, but it doesn't seem interested in you in particular. After a while, its roars fall away into the distance. Oh, okay, whatever. Get the sphere. Now that you know the whites communicate through temperature variations, you might be able to avoid their attention by feel better than sight, assuming you can figure out what the different temperatures mean. The sphere is about 300 meters away, and the whites shift around constantly. It's going to be tricky to get close. Alright, let's move. Trying to stay where the temperatures ripple between hot and cold. You close the distance to the sphere by about 100 meters. It seems like the whites are ignoring you, but suddenly one turns your way. Seems more curious than hostile, but either way it's following you now. Should I keep going with the hot and cold technique, or should I go somewhere else? I would edge towards the air being cool rather than the air being warm. Ah, far out. So I was obviously doing alright. Oh, what? Okay, one of the whites look your way, then another. Suddenly the air alternates between streaks of intense cold and heat. So, like, my only option is to attack them? Okay, so we come across something promising. You find a staff made of some prior world metal. It's cool to the touch, unusual given the extreme temperature of the air itself, and burn marks blacken one end. Very likely this was used as a weapon. It may work again, but probably only once. You take the staff with you. Okay. So... if I try to slip past them, hot and cold... Oh, well, did I press the wrong thing maybe? The white continues following you, but it remains at a distance you're able to escape the attention of the other whites and close the distance to the sphere by another 100 meters. I'm confused, whatever. Okay, close enough. You dive forward, grabbing the sphere and tumbling away before the whites can stop you. Their air suddenly becomes a sickening pattern of intense cold and heat. You have escaped the whites' attention so far, but they're paying attention to you now. Several of them attack you with outstretched hands. Yeah, let's use the staff. You aim the charred end of the staff at one of the wights and press the button on the side. The air feels like it's ripped apart as a scalding beam of light streaks the wight in the chest. The creature disappears in a flash of fire and heat. The air grows icy cold, broken by irregular streaks of intense heat. The other wights back away slightly, but they are clearly looking for a chance to strike again. Can we run away? Nice. Okay, seek out the grimoire. So, unfortunately, it's also looking for you. It howls in endless pain and frustration and stalks toward you. Why would I want to taunt it, though? I don't know if there's anything more there. So I've just climbed to the transport. You're at the top of the broken bone tower. Jagged bone walls act as a kind of parapet. From here you can see the fields of Ossiphagan even better, the spine below you, the obsidian formations in one direction and the glowing fields in front of the mountain pass in the other. Floating just next to the tower is a hovering pod made of azure steel. A ramp leads from the parapet to the transport. I'm just going to enter whatever is in the obsidian place we can leave behind. Hopefully that's fine. You step aboard. The transport does not appear to have been made with adult humans in mind. There is only room enough for you to lay down, and even then you have to roll on your side and bend your legs slightly. As soon as you have done so, the ramp recedes and the doorway disappears. Your stomach lurches as the transport takes to the sky. At first, you try to peer out of the tiny portholes, but all you see is pitch black, presumably the volcano's black clouds. Eventually, they are replaced by the black of a starry sky. You try to see the land below, but it's impossible in the cramped space. Hours pass. Finally, the transport slows, its humming ceases, and the door reappears. You step out of the transport, stretching painfully. You're in a strange cavern. Artifacts are strewn everywhere in the various stages of repair or experimentation. One wall is covered by a network of displays showing people and scenes that mean nothing to you. In the center of the room is an enormous cage made from steel tendrils that twist together at the top. The cage glows for a moment and a figure walks out. He wears a thick cloak, but his face is most strange. It shifts and blurs, changing its features constantly. You get the impression you are seeing a person, but you can't define what that person looks like at all. His name crosses your mind immediately, the Chimera. Took you long enough. The Chimera's voice is metallic and artificial, shifting as often as the features of his face. His expressions slide and change, but all of them are frowning as he reaches forward to take the sphere from you. With your unique gifts, I thought finding a dead relic would come easier. The Chimera sets the Erlem Neon on a nearby table with a clunk. He immediately picks up a variety of scanning tools, one after the other, probing the Erlem Neon and its secrets. He seems to have forgotten about you. You look around the cavern, but there is no entrances or exits. Nowhere this Mazov could be except for the cage. Where is Mazov? For I much desire to speak with him. Oh, far out. Can I use another skill? Mazov? The Chimera's altering voice slips from baritone to falsetto in a rapid series of notes. A dozen different eyes narrow with suspicion. I am not sure that Tinkerer would tell you anything useful, but I can think of no reason to deny you. The Chimera turns and slides a hand along one of the metal tendrils. Although no discernible interface appears, he presses his fingers against the metal twice and the cage begins to glow. The Chimera turns his attention back to the sphere, indicating you should enter the cage with a dismissive wave. Two of the metal tendrils become a kind of doorway. On the other side, Muzzov squats on some sandy alien shore. Stars twinkle in the sky behind him, but they are no stars you recognize. He picks up his head as though he heard something, then he turns around to face you. One of his eye sockets is artificial, alternately projecting a human eye, a snake's eye, and something even more alien in the time he looks over you. He looks like a shipwreck survivor, bare-chested, ragged pants, ragged beard. If so, he's better fed than you'd expect. "Zirian," he says, his human eyes squinting in the light. "What the hells do you want?" He peers forward, as though trying to see into the cavern. "The resonance chamber has been smashed. I need to know how to fix it." He puts a hand to his chin, all anger and suspicion gone in the face of a puzzle. "Well, it ain't hard if you know the basics. The chamber's crystal, yeah? So it's grown, not built. So long as the chamber's core is intact, it should know how to grow itself. You just need a catalyst to..." He trails off and looks at you and you. "Why do you want to know this? The resonance chamber's only good for..." He gives you an angry look. "Who sent you? Why are you after this?" "The spectre? Being in my head. He told me if I fix it, I could stop the sorrow from hunting us down." Mazov barks a short, bitter laugh. "I don't doubt it would stop the sorrow and a great many other things. I don't know how, but the changing god's trying to use you. If that chamber's fixed, nobody benefits but him. You can't trust a damn word that guy says." "How would the resonance chamber benefit the changing god?" "The resonance chamber's only good for one thing," he holds up a finger, "and that's snuffing us out. The changing god plans to use it to merge all of us, every cast-off that still lives, back into his body. That's his plan for stopping the sorrow." He puts a grease-stained hand over your shoulder. "Look, I don't know who you are or what your part in this is, but you cannot let him activate that chamber. You need..." He glances over your shoulder at something in the cavern, though when you turn you see nothing there. "The first is alive," he whispers, drawing your attention back to him. "And she's got her own plan for the chamber, one that won't kill us all. Our sire has a new cast-off body that he plans to use as a catalyst for the chamber, but the first has a better plan, something that won't snuff out every last one of us. Look for her in the bloom," he says grimly. "Just make sure you don't..." Before he can finish, you feel a retching twist in the center of your body, like your heart is being wrung dry. Your vision tunnels black and you feel as though your body were being sucked through a steel pipe. You're being pulled out of the mirror, but it's far more painful than it ever was before. The Muzzov, the cave, and everything else disappears.
Making a note.
You plant your hand on the icy floor and push, staggering up to your feet. Every inch of your body aches as though you've been crushed in a massive hand. The spectre stands before you, impassive. It may be your imagination, but he seems more solid than before. A phantom tendril, tendril, coils around your forehead, cooling and soothing. You find yourself staring at your hand, your solid, real hand. Across from you, the spectre is still transparent. The tendril lightens once, as if confirmation or warning. Then the sensation is gone. You are alone here with the spectre once more. He is waiting for you to speak, frowning now. Collect your thoughts. You concentrate, struggling to gather your thoughts, but they well through your head like hot sand. The spectre sighs, seeming less solid now than he was a moment ago. "We need to talk," he says. You barely hear him through the pain. "I have something I have been meaning to tell you. You see, I haven't been completely honest with you. I'm not part of you. You're part of me. I created you. I'm the changing god." Yeah, I thought something funky was going to happen with him. Is that why I couldn't read your thoughts? You hid them somehow? Of course, he says simply, his outline solidifying. You didn't think I lived for so long without learning to lie, did you? Even from mind readers. Now, I know this is a lot to take in. It means this body of yours is actually mine. I lived in it for years. And now that we know the first is still alive, I need it back. No, this is my body, not yours. I knew you'd say that, but let's get this straight. I've lived in this body. I made it for a purpose. And now you say your wisp of a life outweighs my centuries of experience? Or maybe you think my first cast-off has a better way, Some magical solution to live out your false existence without price. I promise you, she has no such thing. She has always only killed to get what she wants. Her self-interest is just as strong as yours and mine. The only difference between the three of us is that I am real. You wouldn't exist if it weren't for me. You don't exist apart from me. Everything you are is a byproduct of my skills, my intellect, my experiences. And now that I have the chance to stop the sorrow to save us all, you refuse me? Who in the hells are you? The new owner of this body. It was never yours to take, the spectre says, grimacing. No, let me tell you what you are. You're an accident of fate, a parasite in the mind I built. You're a child. I don't want to destroy you, but I will if I must. Give me control. Never. Then I'll take it, the spectre says and spreads his arms. Tidal energy pours from the air around you, flowing into the spectre. The ground itself slips around your feet, holding you in place. You feel your grip on your body, your mind slipping by finger lengths. You are diminishing, he is winning. You search your mind, your hard-earned memories, for something that will loosen his hold on you. I found the Book of Singing Thorns and read the inscription. You've fallen far from where you began. The spectre looks briefly surprised. The colours bleed from his flickering frame. He growls under his breath. I've never forgotten what happened to her, not once. His outline blurs, becoming hazier. Pull your feet free? You struggle against the ground even as it creeps up your legs, but cannot free yourself. I wonder if there was more that I could have found. I'm going to rip you out of my mind? We don't need to fight. Yeah, okay, Oh, tidal surge. Turn the tides against the spectre, I guess. The spectre's eyes widen as you straighten, gathering the threads of the tides in your hands. You raise them before you. Don't, the spectre growls, but you ignore him. Wrenching the threads apart, agony explodes in your mind, lashing through your body, damaging essential parts of you. And the spectre as well took 10 points of damage. With a shuddering gasp, he stumbles backwards, fading in and out of visibility. The pressure in your mind dwindles and ends. Fine, he says, eyeing you with cool contempt. If you're so intent on stopping the sorrow on your own, have at it. Let's see how you handle what's in store without my help, my guidance. Then he fades completely, but speaks again. His voice is coming from all around you, from every corner of your mind. He's not gone, only hidden himself in your mind. I wasted my time trying to reason with you. That won't happen again. As the portal closes behind you, something feels off. It only takes you a second to realize the spectre is gone. It is quieter now in the calm of your mind. But he's not truly gone, is he? You can still feel him out there, watching, waiting, perhaps for a moment of weakness in which to strike. Well, that was interesting. I wonder what would have happened if I just let him take control.